Hello everybody, my name is Cirque and welcome back to the Castaways server. Check out that sweet Z fighting. Wow, that's really bad. That's really bad. Like it's even on the chicken. What's going on here? They sort of fixed boats being in water or like filled with water, but not really. You know, almost there, so close. But yeah, back on the Castaways server. Since last episode, I've basically just been setting up shop. You know, I got my farms over there that I've been harvesting a lot, and I've been working on my little hidey hole, kind of transforming it into a more user-friendly or more useful, I guess, hidey hole with lots of things. So over here I got some crafting stuff. And then I have furnace here, back here. I have some potion stuff. I haven't done any brewing, but I do have that. Just some special storage and tool storage over here. Got my enchantment table up in the ceiling there. Ender chest with a 39 diamonds, so good. I did a little caving with Eros, Cubulous, and Be Happy. And that was pretty fun. So we got some diamonds from that, and then I just have some storage back there. Yeah, pretty good. I like it. It's a nice hidey hole. It'll do the job. And, you know, I got a lot of compliments, saying that I was very creative in my building, and I just want to thank you guys for that. It made me feel really good. Although I did have a few weird comments that were saying that this place looked familiar, or, like, I think one of them even said that I copied Eros. And I don't know what you're talking about. This is completely original, my design. I mean, if we just take a look at Eros' bedroom, like, look at this. It's completely different. I don't know what you're talking about. This one has, like, a lamp, and there's pink wool everywhere. I don't see what you guys are talking about. You're obviously just a little unobservant, a little crazy. Look at all these. Jungle! We also found a jungle on our adventure. We went caving, and then we decided to just go exploring, and we found a jungle. So Eros has too many cats. That's what I'm gonna say. Too many is the number of cats that she has. Look what we got here. Got ourselves a little zombie villager. I think he's like a farmer. He's definitely a brown coat. I don't think he has an apron at all. Hi there. Now I think splash potions are actually broken in this snapshot. Yep. Notice how it was blue? It shouldn't have been blue. So it didn't give him any effects. Dang it. So we can't convert him yet, but we will eventually. I do want to have villagers around here. I don't know if I will incorporate them into my actual build, or if I'll just have like an artificial village or have them locked away somewhere. It would be nice to actually incorporate them into this village. So today, I don't really plan on doing much building, but I do want to start kind of discussing some ideas for this place. I think I mentioned last time kind of a general idea of what I wanted. I want to make a port village, and this is something that I've really wanted to do for a while, even like in other games. Like back in the day when I first started playing computer games, I was playing a game called Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, and I was making some maps for that game, and one of the maps I made actually kind of reminds me of this, because I had like a bay area. It wasn't quite like this. It was kind of smoother. And I was starting to work on a village like in the bay area, and then I had like a rocky area kind of like this, and up on the hill there was a lighthouse, and like kind of the focus of the map was that you'd have the lighthouse being like a tall spot, and you'd have a steeple in the church down there in the village as like a tall spot, and you could have it was sort of a sniper focused area, or at least that detail was kind of for sniper rifles. But anyways, ever since then, and like especially when I started playing Minecraft, this is something I've wanted to do, is have some sort of village, you know, that has all the stuff that a village would have, you know, like all-inclusive area with a market area and blacksmith and inn, tavern, shops, church, you know, anything that a village would have, a thriving village would have within its area. I wanted to have that. I wanted to just build that and, you know, have it all kind of fit together nicely and work together. And now we're finally gonna try and do that. So I've been looking at the area, trying to think of how I want it. Obviously, we have the bay down here. We're gonna have some docks going in there. I think right down here in this area, we'll put some sort of market. Just because I want it to be next to the docks, because the docks, that's where all the trade would be coming in. So it'd be nice, and we have this kind of flatter area that we could definitely use for like a little market with a bunch of outdoor stands. People can sell their fish and their tapestries and all their stuff at. I think that'd be kind of cool. And then I think a lot of the village is going to be up on the hill here. We'll probably have some sort of sloped, windy road go along the hill so that it's easy to come up. Because, if you have all your stuff coming in on the bay, if you have all your cargo coming in, you don't want to, like, haul it upstairs, like steep stairs to get up here. I suppose we could, like, set up some sort of cranes, but I don't know if I really like the idea of cranes in Minecraft. I mean, some of them look cool, but I think I'd rather just have a nice, easy walkway that people can cart their stuff up. Obviously, this is all hypothetical. It's all just, like, I want to think about how the village would actually be laid out. So we'll have some sort of road kind of sloping up the side of the hill. And then up here, we'll have most of our buildings. I haven't really planned out a lot of what we want or where we want them. But I know we want some sort of church. We want some sort of tavern, maybe a tavern/inn. Or we have an inn separate from the tavern. We want some sort of, I think over here, we're going to keep the mine right here. We'll decorate this up to make it look a little bit more like a mine. Maybe even have a mine cart that comes up along the stairs. And then we should have some sort of like forge. Like I want to have I want to have a building that's like a forge that's like specifically for her refining materials, so that would have a bunch of furnaces, have some sort of furnace array in there so that we can smelt stuff. And then I also want a separate building that is a blacksmith, and I want those to be kind of close together. So the forge I definitely want by the mine because that would make sense, and then the blacksmith would be somewhere over here as well, kind of near that. Other buildings, I think I'd want some sort of library, probably want some sort of like town hall type place, town hall / maybe courthouse, some place for like town meetings and such in our little village. Definitely lots of little shops and houses, shops maybe, well, separate from houses as well as like houses maybe on the second floor of shops. I think that'd be kind of cool. And I think the style of the place, I want it to be like a Tudor / medieval style. And I have been working on some ideas. Maybe we'll lay some things out. These are kind of the blocks that I want to use. So let's see. Oh, and also we definitely want a lighthouse out here. I think I'm having trouble with this area because this like piece of land is very thin before it goes off. So it's like if we build a house here, we'd almost have to have it stick out and have like stilts, which we could do something like that. Because I definitely want enough space for a road too. So it's like if we put a house here, it's gonna have to be kind of hanging over the side. But also if we don't put a house, like it's kind of a long stretch where there wouldn't be anything. So I want to do some sort of structures along this little ridge. And then out here, we could definitely put a house out on this little chunk. This would definitely be a good spot for a house. And then I want some sort of bridge to go across to that island and probably put the lighthouse right there. It would be kind of cool. Maybe we'll sleep real quick just so that we don't have to worry about mobs. So as far as the buildings, this is kind of what the sort of blocks that I want to use. Not really those, but I want to use lots of stone, the dark oak, probably like green or blue clay, dark oak stairs and slabs and such, and also maybe bricks. So I'm kind of thinking, let's just do like a little test build. Now this is something that I've been working on a little bit in creative, sort of the style of this. I want to have lots of stone down on the bottom floor, on the bottom portion of the build. And I'm thinking about using clay. Now I don't use clay very often, or the bricks I should say. I don't use bricks very often. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I think they can be done. They can be used correctly. If you really, basically, if you like hide them, you can really make them look nice. So let's see. Let's have like this here. Want to have like lots of wood supports. On the bottom, we'll have nice stone corners because I think that looks pretty cool. And let's just do that and that. I don't know if we can really get high enough for those. And then I want to have lots of like stairs kind of popping out, almost like footings. I really want to make the bases look heavy and strong. So we'll do maybe something like that, and then we'll do something like that. Have some more stone on the base. And then maybe something sticking out there. You could have the doorway here. Maybe put a little window here. That could work. Yeah, we'll put some bricks across there. And bring this up a bit. And then what else? Want some bricks back here. Then we'll put, I want some cobble there. Maybe a cobble just going across here. Although, actually, this might be a little bit different. Because we'd have the doors here, so maybe we'd have, like, stone brick going across there. You could even make this look a little strange by putting that one, like, sideways. And then we'll do those there. And then on these logs, probably do some stairs going across. And then maybe along here, kind of stick this out a little bit more. Do something like that. That looks kind of cool. And then on the top, it would be mostly stone and clay. So maybe go up on the corners here like that. Bring this across. I think here, though, you'd want this either sticking out. Yeah, I think sticking out would look the best. So bring those up. And then have some logs going across here. Bring that up. And then you probably, you know, with like Tudor-style houses, this is kind of what you normally see is a lot of kind of sectioned off areas with wood. So probably do something like that. And then you do some more detail up there. And then I'm thinking clay going in between the logs. And we could do blue clay. I mean, we could do lots of different kinds. We could even like kind of change it up from building to building, what color clays we use. And we could use, you know, like if we use blue clay, we could use blue and maybe light blue, kind of a paler color, kind of mix them in together. As well as with the green, you can use green and lime green. But that's sort of the house style that I want to use. This is sort of bugging me. I want this to go up. Because otherwise, when you're looking at it from the front, it looks weird. But yeah, something like that. So lots of wood and clay on the top. Lots of stone on the bottom. So what do you guys think of that? I guess I already did this side a little bit. And then you can have like jut outs for windows and such. Like you could put a window here and maybe have this sort of jut out like that and have a window kind of pop up or pop out on there. So bring that up. And that could be your window area. That'd be kind of cool. And not all houses would kind of be this structure. Let me sleep real quick. But not all houses would have to be, you know, exactly like this, exactly this structure. But this might be the majority of the houses and the shops and stuff. But then you'd have like specialty buildings mixed in, like the church and the blacksmith. Those might look a little bit differently because they would need they would just be designed slightly different. They would have different styles to them. But yeah, what do you guys think of that? I think that looks kind of cool. Also, one thing I was thinking, and one reason why I don't know if I want to use the bricks here, I was kind of thinking for a road. You know, a lot of people use like gray roads because there is a lot of good gray blocks. You have andesite and cobble and gravel, stone brick, lots of different types of stuff, and you can really make like really beaten up roads as well as really nicely paved roads with that stuff. But I was kind of thinking something that looked good. Granite is another block that I don't use very often, but I was playing around with this idea, and I think it looks kind of nice to have like instead of a gray road, work with like a red road, a reddish road. And then we could, oh, that must not have actually broken when I went through and broke them. But then you can mix in some bricks. I think that makes like a really cool town road. That turned out a lot more uniform than I wanted it to. I wanted it to kind of stick out in different areas. But I think that gives a really nice looking road to put throughout this town. And I really like the way that these play off each other. You know, they're both similar in color, but you have the very broken, messy look of the andesite and the very clean look of the bricks. I suppose you could also use some polished andesite mixed in there. So if we just did some polished, I don't know how well this would look, but that might look kind of cool. Have something with those 3 blocks. I did try using clay. I wasn't too sold on clay mixed in with here, because like just the normal hardened clay looks sort of this color, but it's almost too smooth. Like with the road, you almost want a little bit more than that. But my problem is, I really like the bricks back here, and I don't really know what to use back there if we use bricks in here. Maybe it would be fine having both. Because I think one thing I would do, I don't have any with me, but maybe we can try it out with this. I think around the actual buildings, maybe right next to them, we wouldn't put the road. But you could have a little buffer made out of, I was thinking like andesite. We'll try it out with just like, yeah, I think it'd look better with andesite. That ties in too much with that. But I think with the andesite, it looks kind of cool. There's some andesite going along the building. I think that looks kind of cool. It sort of separates it from the road. Yeah, I don't think the brick is too bad. I don't know. What do you guys think? If we put brick there as well as with the road? Like I said, my biggest problem is I don't know what else to put back here. One idea I had was using cobblestone, because you'd have, like, I think stone brick and cobblestone really play off each other really well, because the stone brick is nice and clean, and then you have the broken up cobblestone, and then you just kind of change those out to stone brick. Put the cobblestone along here. Change this stuff out. Change that one out. It's a stone brick. And that doesn't look too bad. Like it definitely, the background of cobblestone works nicely. My problem with that though is then everything on the bottom is all one color. You know, it's all just gray except for the brown. And I think that really takes a lot of the interest away. And we could use clay, but again, clay is very smooth. And I like having the texture down below here. So it's like you really need something with texture. Maybe endstone. I don't think endstone would look very good, but that is an idea. Yeah, I don't think endstone would really go with the colors very well. I definitely think the brick looks the best down here. Yeah, I like that. So we may just have to have brick in the road as well as in the actual building. Gives it a nice sturdy foundation. I really like the look of that. One thing we're going to have to be careful though is like that building is probably too big. Like that might be a good size for maybe a town hall. Maybe you could do a little bit bigger, but for the average building, we're definitely going to have to go smaller than that. which kind of sucks because like that's a decent amount of detail, and the smaller you go, the less detail you can really cram in there. But we have terrace right there, and I kind of like I really don't want to encroach on his area, so I want to make sure to stay over here. And I guess one thing we could do is maybe expand it more out that way. We could even kind of change some of the landscape here, clear out some of these hills, like this one and that one, to give us a little bit more space. But I want to be able to fit quite a few buildings in here. And if we go that size, like that takes up a lot of space because that thing is like 13 wide, and I'd probably make it longer than it is wide, which means it'd have to be like 17 to 20 blocks deep. And that's just you're not going to be able to fit too many buildings that size in here. So we definitely want to be smaller than that. But yeah, that's kind of my idea so far. I just kind of wanted to go through that, discuss some of those ideas, see what you guys think. I know the Castaways has a pretty good Reddit going on, and I just want to give a shout out to Abominable Legend on the Castaways Reddit. He's the moderator. He's the only non-Castaway moderator, and he's like the main moderator. He's doing a lot of good work on there, keeping the Reddit going and moderated. It's really cool to see his dedication to the Castaways and the Reddit. So thank you very much for that. But anyways, yeah, there's a link. There'll be a link in the description to the Castaways Reddit. And I know one thing that people like to do is create ideas, some inspiration for us castaways. If you guys have any ideas, kind of along that theme, different types of builds. Like I said, I need like a blacksmith, a church, bunch of little shops. We're gonna need some docks out here, some boats. I mean, you don't have to, but if you feel inclined to do so, I will definitely take any inspiration I can get. So you can post stuff on there, or even just tweet at me at Cirque Plays. That will also be in the description. That'd be very helpful indeed. But I think that's all we're gonna do today. Just kind of a talky episode, going over ideas. I think I'm gonna next thing I'm gonna work on is probably kind of cleaning up the land here. Maybe I will get rid of some of these mountains so that we have a little bit more space to work with. Like especially this is kind of in the way, because like the hill actually extends out to here. That's quite a bit more square footage that we could get. And then maybe just start planning out where buildings are going to go and like the general size of the buildings. And then hopefully in an episode soon, I don't know if it'll be next episode, we might have some things going on with other people that I have planned coming up. But next episode that we're working on this project, we'll start really getting some buildings in, or at least one building in, to sort of kickstart the whole thing off. But anyways, I hope you have enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Also, like I said, follow me on Twitter and tweet at me. But also, I do a live stream every Thursday at like 6:30 p.m. Central Time. That'd be 7:30 Eastern. On twitch.tv/thecirque. So if you want to check me out there, I will be live streaming this Thursday. I don't really know what I'm going to do. I do lots of different things. Do Minecraft, Terraria. I haven't done a whole lot of Terraria recently, but I do want to kind of start off a Terraria, like just live stream world. Or Star Wars Battlefront just came out, so I might be playing that this week. That'd be kind of fun. But anyways, I hope you have enjoyed. Check me out on the social medias, and if you have any ideas, post them to the Reddit, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, peoples.